it's like putting a chorus together. I mean, they harmonize. I mean, there's no egos as to who's the most important. Everyone has a job that has to happen, or this thing doesn't work. And that's that to me, that's the passion of this thing. One is finding a product opportunity that actually you can make a difference with, and then second, it's all about the fun part is actually putting the team together to do it. And that's what I get my biggest kick out of is putting that team together and then seeing the things that happen and things that I couldn't possibly do myself, that's happening here. And I just have to sit back, let these guys go, and we're having a lot of fun. They are super motivated. They know we can save lives. We can build a product. They want to see a product go to market. And they know they need each other to do it. It's really a pretty cool experience when you do that.
Very cool.
And I'll say one other little piece of advice someone gave me once is an MIT friend of mine just said, anytime you do anything, think big, start small, scale quick. And I think that's really important. You have to be thinking big, way beyond where you want to be. So you've really got a solid object you're aiming for. And then you start small and then start iterating fast and moving towards that goal. And often you have to change, but when you change the big picture first, and then follow the small steps to get there. So that's to me just a fundamental thing that we just always try to practice.
Absolutely important. And I love the idea of building a chorus as well. So thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
Jim,
Yeah.
what inspires you?
Well, I think it's kind of what I just said there. I mean, what inspires me is getting a group of people together to do something that's significant, can change. There's one of my MIT buddies here in town about 2 or 3 years ago. We had a lunch together, and he asked the question, says, how smart do you have to be? What do you have to do to be smart enough to actually make a change, impact society in some way? Because there's so many papers and research papers published every year. There's so many people that get PhDs every year. There's such a wealth of information that's been building and building across this entire world for the last, thousands of years, but for the last 30 years, just an amazing amount of stuff. In order to make a contribution to society, do you have to get 3 PhDs to do it? And what we said is, no, what you got to do is you got to have a team. Because if you're going to build the next generation robot, one person can't do it. It's not going to make the better robot. You have to have somebody who's really smart in mechanical engineering. You got to have someone who's really smart in in electrical engineering and control systems. You have to have someone really smart, a bio person that can make biosensors to sense, feel, touch, force, pressure, and things like that. Then you got to have somebody in CS and an AI person that can combine all this information all together and do vision observations and analysis. So it takes a team of really smart people, but then all of a sudden it's that interdisciplinary thing. And that excites me, that ability for a group of people to come together and collaborate together, harmonize together, and end up with something that really truly makes a difference to society. And that's where the contribution comes from. That's what gets me excited, is having an opportunity to try to build a team like that and do that.
Yeah, absolutely. What concerns you?
What concerns me, I mean, I'm super excited about what we're doing. I'm super excited about the team, the opportunity, the things we're doing. I'm having the most fun out of 8 companies I've been involved with. This is the most fun I've ever had. What scares me is what's happened in the last 6 months in science. We're currently, like, we're doing something that's really hard. When we talked to some angel investors, we talked to VCs, and there was too much risk. They don't want to take risks. They want to wait. They say, you're doing something cool, keep us posted. And once you're making measurements, once you're starting to see good results, let's talk again. They want to make sure the risk is way down and that we've got something that we're within a year of getting it out. And that's how much risk they're willing to take, all these people that are your, quote, technology investors. The only reason we were able to pull this off, because we needed 3 or 4 years here, 5 years almost, to actually get this thing to work and be able to make that contribution. The only place we could do it was with National Science Foundation, U.S. Army, people who have money that is for high risk, high reward. I mean, that's what National Science Foundation, that's their mission, is to find the things that VCs won't pay for yet, but have huge promise for societal change, and fund those things. So we've raised $3.3 million in the last 4 years here. And we wouldn't be here without that. And we're down to, we got one more round to do. We've got a proposal out to National Institute of Health to do it. We're going to do a collaboration with the thoracic surgeon team at Anschutz. And so it's a $2 million grant application. And we have no idea what's going to happen right now. This is 6 months ago, I would have, because we're 7 for 7 in grant applications and awards because we got something that's important and novel. And so again, knock on wood, that's 7 for 7. And right now, it's like to get an NSF phase 2 grant, it's like you got a 5% chance of getting it. The cuts that they've made this year, that 5% is down to about 2%. There's less than half of the number of grants are going to be given out this next year. NIH, same thing. We would have been a slam dunk 6 months ago. Right now, we have no idea if we're going to get this grant. And if we don't, it could stop us right in our tracks. Here we are. We've developed all this. We've solved the problems. We're ready to go that one more round, and we may not get it. And that scares me. And it's not just me. I mean, what's happening to us, potentially happening to us, is happening across the board. I mean, the investments from National Institute of Health is down about a quarter of what it was the same time last year. So already, and that's before the new budget goes in that asks for another 40% cut from NIH. That's why we're a leading country, in so many technologies, the medical technologies and AI and other areas, because of these research grants, and they're getting stifled right now. So that scares the heck out of me. It's not just our company, but it's what this is going to do. We're going to lose a generation of incredible talent in this country. This isn't going to be just a 4-year break. It's going to take years to recover from that afterwards. This is a generational break it's occurring to us in real time right now.
Such an important statement overall, and I've heard similar things. I've heard other countries are heavily recruiting in some of our greatest universities across the U.S. One, two, I've heard that you can bet that the greater majority of the dollars still are going to go towards cancer. So what does that leave for anybody else? If you have something going on with your heart or with your eyes or any other thing that somebody's working on that's critical, a core temperature sensor as an example, certainly fighting for those dollars is a tough thing.
Oh yeah. Well,
yeah.
That's exactly right. And I saw some statistics recently for the SBIR program, the Small Business Research Grants. And so that's what we've won. We won $3.3 million of SBIR grants. And when you look at I've seen statistics on the number of new drugs that entered the market in this last couple of years. It's a significant percentage of those, 60-70% of those started with an SBIR, at one point. I've seen statistics on for every dollar that goes into these SBIR research programs, how many dollars of tax revenue comes back to the U.S. government because of the businesses that form from it. And quite honestly, if you really want to make the government more efficient and more productive, the first thing you do is take the SBIR program and double it, because it more than pays for itself. It's like, I think in cancer research, for every dollar spent on an SBIR for cancer research, U.S. government tax revenue is like $3.50 comes back from it every year. And so it's a 3-to-1 ratio. And that's even with the failures that don't work, because that's the whole idea, is you want to take the high risk things, and some of them won't work. But you get a few that really work and really change things and all.
Right. Last question. What excites you?
Well, that's like, I mean, for me right now, this is the thing that gets me excited. It gets me up every morning here at 5:50 in the morning to talk to you.
I thought I was the only crazy one here.
No. There's a few out there. But this is the thing that gets me excited. It's just a chance again to work with a group of people and do something that changes something. And it's not just I'm excited about it. Our team is really excited about it. That gets me even more excited. So it's this big forward feedback loop that happens, and it just feels like like we get up and we get at work each day here that we're really doing something that can actually affect lives. And it's like, like I said, meeting that friend of ours who went through the surgery and survived it. It's like, that's, we're going to increase the chances of a lot of other people that don't survive that. And so It's exciting stuff, and this whole science and technology is pretty cool stuff.